We're going to start with John Lydon, whose career in music as singer and songwriter has lasted for more than half a century. A good deal of that spent as leader of his band PIL, Public Image Limited. Before that, he burst onto public consciousness, making hits and headlines as Johnny Rotten, lead singer of the Sex Pistols and leading figure in the 1970s British punk movement. But you still got a hunger for recording music and going on tour, John.
Oh, that ain't going to go away now.
No.
It's the only thing I'm any good at, apparently.
I think the last thing I heard you, and it was rather touching actually, when you were entering your track, which is on this album, Hawaii, you wanted it to be the Irish entry for the Eurovision Song Contest.
I didn't want it to be. They offered it to me, and it was an opportunity to perform it live on Irish TV before my wife died.
Yes.
And so I was able to play that to her.
Yeah.
And it meant a lot. It meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to her, because she picked out the suit I wore on that show. It was a pink check.
Yeah.
And with Alzheimer's or not, it was Johnny suit.
I remember
right.
she's Nora, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And my mother's middle name was Nora, and she died of Alzheimer's as
Yeah.
well. So solidarity with looking after her.
Yeah.
It's not easy, is it?
No, it's not, but it was worth every second for the life she gave me.
And you've been married to her for, was it 44 years?
Yeah.
So it is a very poignant track for anyone to listen to, and for you, I
It
suppose.
certainly is. The responses from it were wonderful. There's a lot of empathy out there. And we're not just talking Alzheimer victims, because the surviving members are victims of this as well.
Yeah.
But cancer, all
Sure.
other ailments, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, who'd have thought on God's earth that Mr. Rotten was a kind-hearted fella
Well,
after
that-
all?
yeah, that-
Johnny Romantico.
I suppose people wouldn't have expected you to have obviously a very warm and loving marriage for all that time, given your...
Well, they'd be wrong, because it
Yeah.
was. It most certainly was.
Yeah.
And the thing, like, people ask, what kept you together? Bloody good arguments. Absolutely. Throw it all out there.
You did
Pots
another
and
one
pans.
called Penge, didn't you?
Yes, a very exciting place that nobody gives enough attention to. It's between one place and another, and a motorway straight through it.
Well, you don't come from Bend. You come from where the Arsenal Stadium is now.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm proper Gooner.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Should there be a
Born and
blue plaque on the stadium?
Born and raised right on where the new stadium is now.
Yeah.
On Benwell Road.
So there should be a blue plaque on the stadium saying Johnny Rotten lived here.
Funnily enough, the council was approached about that, but they said, no way would they have my sort of fella celebrated.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, I mean, I'm as good as Charlie Dickens, and I...
Did you ever play football?
Hopeless. Yeah.
Really?
I had the great nickname of Anvil. If I stood long enough, something would hit me and go in.
Yes. But because your nickname that caught on was Johnny Rotten, that started as a nickname.
Because I had bad teeth.
And you sorted that out in due course.
I did, but half of them have fallen out since. It's all these titaniums that they put in, they're not what they're cracked up to be. So they forgot to mention to me that you're still supposed to brush your teeth. Well, bad things have happened. The gums are receded and the teeth have got nothing of substance to keep hold of.
Looking all right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I'm gritting my teeth when I
Keep it
speak.
together.
Yeah. When you
Well, I
start,
can't chew hard things, and I shouldn't anyway.
Liquid lunches.
Yes.
when you started in the Sex Pistols, did you have in mind more of a revolution against the way music was going, or were you really angry about
I
society?
was a serious record collector, and still am. I love music of all kinds. But it's like, there's your record collection, and you go, well, yes, but where's the bit that you could be doing in all of that?
Yeah.
And that's where I started writing. Writing on its own was a great idea, but it really kicked off well when I heard how tuneless the band were. It was marvellous, because you could pick any note you like, right? You can't be out of key. Made a career out of it.
So on this
Often
album,
imitated, never surpassed.
on this album, the PIL album, we've mentioned Hawaii, which is a pleasant song, and Penge.
Well, it's
as
more
said,
than pleasant.
Yeah, sure. But some of the other tracks are perhaps more in the line that people are used to you. Well, that
There's a bit of everything. It's how I am in life.
Well,
Not everything is a narrow footpath.
Sure. Well, let's just hear a little bit of one of the tracks, which I think you're releasing as a single. It's called Car Chase.
Aha.
So should we just have a little burst of Car Chase?
They let me out on the wheel.
Okay, that's a bit of... I'd have been tempted to release LFCF, which stands for liars, liars, frauds, cheats and...
Liars,
fakes.
cheats, fakes and frauds.
Yes.
Yes,
So-
a very fond reference there to my original band members.
You're good friends with them, aren't you?
I should be. It's their behaviour that stops that. And so the song is kind of like humorous, right?
Yeah.
It's the generous hand of, look, let's laugh at this and get over it.
So did you find that always a tense thing, the whole structure of the Sex Pistols, with him
but-
trying to monetize everything?
Yeah, but the song it's based on the very first rehearsal we had as Sex Pistols. None of them turned up except me.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bitterness going on there. Bittersweet, a lemon drop, you could say.
Yeah. That's several decades ago now.
But I'm laughing at myself for caring so much because at the time I mean, you can imagine the fantasies you go through. Rehearsal, band, I'm going to be the poet of the century.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no one there to yell at. I was swizzed.
Yeah. Where did your facility for words come from? Because you do write lyrics which have a sort of poetic feel to them sometimes, even though you're famous for...
Oh, you mean they rhyme?
Sometimes they don't.
No, I write from the heart and what I mean and what I see in life. Like Car Chase, that's about a friend of ours who they put him in an old folks' home and he don't feel ready for that at all. So he breaks out in the night, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And apparently, don't quote me on this, but he steals cars and robs supermarkets.
I'd watch that. That sounds like a sitcom.
Yes. And then goes back in
Yeah.
the morning and delivers that fabulous line, "It weren't me what did it."
So where
How can you not love people like that?
Well,
fighting for his freedom.
where do you live now? You've got a British passport, an Irish passport, an American passport. Maybe have you got any more? Just the
I'd
three.
like some more.
Yeah.
I went for an American and an Irish years ago because the amount of strip searches I'd have to go through at Heathrow was, you can't bugger me now. I'm Irish and American. Sod off.
That's how it works.
So my bunty hole became very safe.
I'm glad.
We're all very pleased to hear it.
Well, I used to do a delicious to stop the strip searching. I used to love Brussels sprouts. Oh, and brewing for 12 hours on a long flight. It's by all means, officers.
So you haven't lost the punk spirit.
No, do it yourself, you know.
Yeah. Thank you, John Lydon. PIL's new album, End of World, is available now. They'll be touring the UK and Europe in September and October.
You mean I could go off to the pub now?
No, you've got to sit and listen to all the other scintillating guests and some music as well. So you've got some music now
but
from...
I have to go to the toilet.
Well, I'll leave that to your own judgment.